Stop doing 4 sets of 10. You aren't growing. All right, guys and girls, when I was coming up in the bodybuilding world, we all read bodybuilding magazines. Like, that was the thing, because there wasn't a lot of internet stuff going on at the time. And I remember reading the magazines, and no matter who the athlete was, Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, Branch Warren, outside of Dorian Yates, because he was a low volume guy, most of the workouts, the exercises were anywhere between 5 and 6 to 8 even, and then all the sets were 4 and all the sets were 10. Or would say 4 sets of 8 to 10 or 4 sets of 8 to 12. And there was no context to it, right? So in my mind, like, let's say I'm back in that world at 19 and I'm on the flat bench and I see that Marcus Rule said, Chris, I need you to do 4 sets of 8 to 10 on flat bench press. Okay, cool. I'm gonna work up to a hard 12 and I'm gonna try to stay there at that weight for 4 sets. So for me at the time, that probably was gonna be 275. So let's say I have 275 on the bar, set 1 is 12, set 2 is 10, set 3 is 8, and set 4 is 4 to 6. And that's with 2 to 3 minute rest periods. So if you look at that, the cumulative volume of that, meaning 275 for all of those reps, is that the way it was meant to be written? Now, a lot of people would say, oh, well, Chris, you did 135, 185, 225, 275. That's your 4 sets. And you did 8 to 12 on all those. And that's the way a lot of people count that. But in my mind, I'm like, hold on, those first 3 don't count because they aren't hard. Nothing's to failure, meaning I'm not straining against the bar. That doesn't count as a set. To me, those 4 sets needed to be hard in order for them to count and grow muscle. And I really believe that's why a lot of guys and girls out there aren't big today, because they see 4 sets or 3 sets or 5 sets and you know, a random rep range, doesn't matter what it is. And they just think from your warm-up is set 1 and your last set is the final one. And I'm like, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. If I'm not straining against the bar, I'm not growing. And if you think about like the common principles of evolution, meaning I need bigger muscle, my body wants to be small, how do I change that and make my body adapt? Well, I have to lift heavier weights or the same weight for more reps than I did last week, and I need to eat more food than I did the previous off season. And if we do that, a lot of times that's what's gonna force growth. So to me, that just never made sense in the 4 sets of 10, which is why when I see someone's programming, I'm always like, how do you know what to do if there's no context given, right? So that's why you'll see in a lot of my videos, Chaz only films the last set because that's the one that counts. Or the last 2 sets because it's a top set and a back off. Or the last set might be, say, a triple drop set, or a Bulgarian split squat of death, or an iso hold, or partials, or, you know, fill in the blank. Because to me, why am I wasting time showing you sets and reps that aren't gaining muscle or aren't the ones that are going to stimulate muscle growth? I think is the better way to put that, because I don't view any set that I do in the gym as useless, right? All of my warm-ups, feeder sets are leading me to the top end load, which is going to put on the most muscle. So what I really encourage you guys to do out there is when you're looking at your sets that count, make them count. And the reason I say 4 sets of 10 isn't making you grow, because really, if you say do 5 exercises for 4 sets of 10 and then only 1 set of those counts, you only did 5 work sets. So be mindful of that. To wrap up this video, what I want you to think about is when you're formulating your workout plan, here's what I challenge you to do. Instead of thinking 4 sets of 10, think top set and back off, meaning the heaviest load you can do in the 8 to 15 rep range, and you back off the weight a little bit, you make your form a little bit slower in the negative, pulse in the hole, better contraction, and you do that for another 8 to 15 reps. And that's gonna be 2 work sets. Or you can do a rest pulse, right? You can load the bar or the dumbbells or the machine with a hard weight that you're gonna get between 12 and 15 reps. Rest 20 seconds, go again with that same weight. Rest 20 seconds, go again with that same weight. So that rest pulse, you're getting 3 mini sets with a top end load, and you're really, again, having to strain onto that weight. Then next week, you're, okay, cool. And those 3 sets, I cumulatively got, let's say, 25 reps. Awesome. Let's make that 26 or plus. And then that's progress. Or the final little caveat here is do a drop set with it, right? So let's say I'm doing hammer strength pull downs and I have 3 plates on each side of this. And you see me get 8 reps, strip a plate, do 8 reps, strip a plate, and do 15 reps. Those, to me, those sets that I just described, top set and back off, rest pause, or a drop set, those are the ones that are counting. So with that clickbait of stop doing 4 sets of 10, I really mean that. Like, if you're gonna do 4 hard sets, do 4 hard sets. Don't do 3 easy to moderate sets and 1 hard and call it 4. So it's all about, I guess, they're really semantics, but when you're applying that to your volume for the week, the sets to failure are the ones that count to me. So if you're trying to assess progress, where to increase volume, decrease volume to progress, that's what we need to think about. So I really challenge you guys, rethink or reevaluate how you think about your work sets, and then apply that and get growing today. If you like this video, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, Chris TV.